So check that out. Jack Oman drew that for the Smerconish.com daily newsletter. Kind of sums up the talker of the week, as in, like, how could she have? Isn't that what we're all saying? How could she have? We can all agree on this. The Kristi Noem dog story is a shocking and horrible tale of human cruelty. Here's what I want to know. Why was she the one to tell it? Why did she put it in her memoir? By now, you know the bizarre anecdote first broken by The Guardian in her book, No Going Back. Noem writes that her 14-month-old hunting dog, Cricket, got loose, killed a neighbor's chickens, and, quote, whipped around to bite me, so she took it to a gravel pit and shot it, and then also killed a misbehaving goat. Don't leave that out. The immediate outrage fueled countless viral memes, late-night punchlines. In the book, she justifies the story as illustrating her ability in politics and life to make the difficult, messy, and ugly decision if it needs to be done. Here's how she explained it to Sean Hannity on Fox.
This was a working dog, and it was not a puppy. It was a dog that was extremely dangerous. It had come to us from a family who had found her way too aggressive. We were her second chance, and the day she was put down was a day that she massacred livestock that were part of our neighbors. She attacked me, and it was a hard decision.
So she must have known it was political kryptonite. So why did she tell the story to begin with? Joining me now is Reynold Nessebar, the Democratic Senate Minority Leader of the great state of South Dakota. Senator, thank you so much for being here. Had you heard this story before?
I had, Michael, and this is a rumor that's been around for years about her acting in anger to put down a dog. And I think there's at least 3 reasons why she did this, and maybe we can talk about that.
So I'd love to hear your 3. I always suspected before I knew of your confirmation that she wanted to get out ahead of it. Like she was going to tell it on her terms because sooner or later, if she really is vetted, they're going to find out about the dog. But go ahead and give me your 3.
Again, I think that's the first one. The inoculation argument is the first one, and that one hasn't gone well. But the second one is that for the last several years, Governor Noem has worked really hard to lift her profile. And I think in that way, it has. I mean, she might be the worst governor that you've ever heard of, but you have heard of her. And I, again, in Trump world, I think that that's really important. And the third thing, I think it keeps the national media from taking a closer look at her record in South Dakota. I mean, she's not very good at being governor. I mean, she isn't even able to persuade her own supermajority Republican House and Senate to eliminate the sales tax on food. I mean, here in South Dakota, we pay a sales tax if you buy baby formula or you buy, baby food.
So former President Trump's favorite pejorative is to speak of someone like a dog. That senator from South Dakota, he choked like a dog, this like a dog, cheating like a dog. He's not a dog guy, right? I'm curious if she maybe thought, hey, with Trump, it's going to be just fine. I'm not going to lose any points with him.
Again, I think that this story was aimed at an audience of one, and I think she likely got his attention. We'll see. Unlike the rest of the world, I think that Donald Trump is likely to still find her appealing.
So how does this play at home? I know how this plays, in the Northeast where I am. On the Acela corridor, dog people are like horrified. I'm sure she would say, well, you're a bunch of snowflakes and you don't know what goes on in rural America. So how does it play in South Dakota?
Yeah, but when I talk to folks here, Republicans mostly don't want to talk about it at all. But this isn't the first time that she's done outrageous things or things that her own caucuses disagrees with. I mean, she took us off of the COVID emergency here in South Dakota early, and it cost South Dakota families over $100 million in enhanced SNAP benefits. She refuses to use a little bit of state general fund money to allow us to have summer EBT to feed hungry kids. So in some ways, this is part of a pattern of she lacks sympathy.
Okay, can we stand up for the goat? I mean, the goat apparently had it coming because the goat got Noem's kids' clothes dirty, and her shot wounded the goat. She had to go back and get a second shotgun shell and then take down the goat. I don't hear anybody speaking up for the goat. You get the final word.
Yeah, I have no idea why she would include that story about the goat in there as well, but maybe she does. She likes to clean up messes. Again, I think she's trying to keep you all from the national media generally from looking at her record in South Dakota. I think there's all sorts of stories that are worth further investigation.
We can walk and chew gum at the same time. Hopefully we will do both. Senator Nessebar, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Michael. Honored to be here. Have a great Saturday.
You too. Let's check in on your social media comments from the world. I mean, it sounds like the beginning of a joke, except it's not funny. Have you heard about the South Dakota governor, the dog and the goat? Governor Noem would have been well served to listen to the words of Harry Truman, who famously said, "If you want a friend in Washington, get a dog, not kill a dog," says Joe Cleary. Yeah, it's just wacky. But my first instinct was to say, you only tell this story if people at home know the story and it's coming out. So now you got to read that book and see what other damage control is contained in it.